Hey Adventures, we're doing something a little bit different today in that we are doing kind of a shopping vlog, and this will be a bunch of different bookstores throughout Alaska, really. So I don't know what it's going to end up turning out like, but this first bookstore we are at is Fireside Books in Palmer, Alaska. So here are the books that we got from Fireside Bookstore. The first one I got was All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria Remarque. And this is one that I've heard of for a long time and I've always wanted to read, and it was $2.80, so I figured might as well pick it up.
The other book I got there is My Mother's Secret by J.L. Whitterick. Anyhow, I saw it there, I read the synopsis and it sounded interesting, and then I checked the Goodreads reviews and it's got 4.5 stars, so I thought I'd give it a try. It's historical fiction.
And then the last book that I got, or the second book that I got, however you want to look at it, is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Stoker, yeah. I had it right the first time. I've never read this book. I've heard of it all my life, and I probably would never pick it up from the library or anything like that because I'm not terribly interested in vampires. But it is one that I'm sort of interested in because it's a classic and it's kind of the origin of vampires, and it was only $7, so I figured might as well. So yeah, that's what we got from Fireside Books in Palmer, Alaska. We will have more videos, or more updates later.
So, doing a little bit of an update for you all, we went to Tidal Wave Bookstore in Anchorage, Alaska, and we have a book haul. Got quite a few books there. It was a pretty good trip.
We don't have the books with us right now, so we'll have to show you those later in another update. And then we also went to a Goodwill in Anchorage and got a couple books there, not a terribly large amount.
I got a movie there as well. So, yeah, we'll do a haul here at the end of the video to catch up on everything for you all.
Anything that we might have missed.
Adventures, we're back again, and we're going to do an overall haul of what we got at our bookstore adventures this week.
So as you can see, we're back at home base, but all the places that we bought books from were starting from the beginning. Fireside Books from Palmer, Alaska. Then we went to Tidal Wave Books Anchorage, Alaska, and Goodwill in Anchorage. And then, did we do any other in Wasilla or Anchorage? No, okay. So then we went down to
Homer Thrift and got some books, and then we went to Homer Books and got some books, and then we went to Old Inlet in Homer and got some books. And then we went to Soldotna.
And there's a store called Inkwell's in Soldotna, and that's where we got those. And I think that's all the bookstores that we went to. So we'll go from the very beginning. We did already do a wrap-up rehash thingy of what we got from Fireside. So we'll do that real quick.
Yeah, so I got My Mother's Secret. a novel based on a true Holocaust story by J.L. Whitterick.
And I got Dracula by Bram Stoker and All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria Remarque, something like that. So those are what we got from Fireside. You already saw those. So next store is Tidal Wave.
So at Tidal Wave, I got The Thing About Jellyfish by Ollie Benjamin. This is a book I saw someone reading it, and I looked up the synopsis because the cover and the title intrigued me, and I really like it. I don't know, it sounds intriguing. I want to read it. I also got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I've read this before, but I wanted my own copy of it because I really enjoyed it. I got Going Postal by Terry Pratchett. This is something we've both been wanting to read for a while. We haven't read any Terry Pratchett before and thought we'd start here. I got Mist by Stephen King. It's weird, where's the title? Oh, The Mist. The Mist by Stephen King, another Stephen King novel. One of his shorter ones because I don't like long books apparently. This is book 8 in the Young Jedi Knight series. I've read book 1 and 2. That's all I own, but they're out of print to my understanding, so when I see one, I grab it. Yeah, this is book 8, so it'll be a while before I get to it. It's written by Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Moista. And then I got Enemies and Allies, The Dark Man Meets the Man of Steel, a novel by Kevin J. Anderson, same author as Young Jedi Knights. I'm really excited about this one. I hadn't heard of it, but I saw it and I saw the author, so very excited about this. And that is what I got at Tidal Wave.
I've got a pretty big stack as well. I got the authorized biography of the creator of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings and Silmarillion, Tolkien, by Humphrey Carpenter. I've never read this, but anything that I can find on Tolkien is great, so I'll keep it. Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. I've read abridged versions of this. I've never read the official or the unabridged version. I got The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper. This is one that I've watched the movie and absolutely loved the movie, and from everything that I've heard, I think I'm going to love the book as much, if not more. Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. I think that's probably how it's pronounced, maybe Funk. But anyways, I got this. I've heard about it a couple times on BookTube, and every time I hear about it, it sounds super interesting and super fun to read, so I figured I saw it there, so I was like, might as well get it. You'll see a bunch of might as well get it's in this list. I got Kidnapped and Catriona by Robert Louis Stevenson. I've watched the movie Kidnapped and I loved that. Robert Louis Stevenson is an author that I've wanted to get more into for a long time, but haven't really tried or started to yet. So I'm excited to have both of these. I've never heard of Catriona before, but I'm fine with owning it. I got Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. This is one that I've mentioned on the channel before that I really want to read. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know that it's a medieval time period, but that's really about it, and that it's a classic and that my parents love it. So I'm ready to read that one as well. I've got The Man in the Iron Mask by Alexander Dumas. I recently read...
I'm not going to be reading that one.
I recently finished The Count of Monte Cristo and absolutely loved it. I don't personally own the Three Musketeers, but I know the story of the Three Musketeers. I've done a Three Musketeers play, which was a lot of fun, and I've watched adaptations of the Three Musketeers, and I guess I've probably read abridged versions of the Three Musketeers, but I do have access to a unabridged version of the Three Musketeers that I will eventually read, and I will eventually buy my own copy. So I'm ready. I'm excited to have all of these. And then the last thing I got from Tidal Wave Books was Jack London, Tales of the North, and Stories of Adventure. So this is a 2-volume set. It looks, I got it, I saw it and I thought that looks a lot like something that my grandpa would have had. And so immediately that piqued my interest, and then I saw that it was Jack London, and that piqued it even further. And so there's, what else is in here? So in Tales of the North, which is this volume, there is the complete novels of White Fang, The Sea Wolf, The Call of the Wild, The Cruise of the Dazzler, and then 15 short stories. And then in Stories of Adventure, this one, I've got the complete novel of The Game, plus 46 short stories, including Brown Wolf, The Sundog Trail, 7 Tales of the Fish Patrol. So lots of stories in these 2 volumes, and it's very beautiful, very well maintained copies of these books, so I'm very excited to have them. The next store is
Goodwill.
Goodwill, and go ahead.
Yeah, so I got The Book Thief. I already owned The Book Thief and I let my sister borrow it and it never returned, so I got The Book Thief again. And then I have Inside Out and Back Again by... He's gonna put the name on the screen because I don't know how to say that. But I read this book years ago and I loved it, and I lent it to like a mentor figure in my life, and she talks about it all the time. It really influenced her, and it's been a while since I read it, so I want to read it again, and I'm really excited too. It's about a girl who moves to America from Vietnam. It's written in a prose style too, so very excited about that.
So I got Tales of Lonely Trails by Zane Grey. I've read one Zane Grey and I really enjoyed it and I want to read more. I also got Lonergan, which is a Louis L'Amour. I've read quite a few Louis L'Amour, probably 10 or so, and I've really enjoyed pretty much all of them. There's only one or two that I haven't loved as much as the other ones. I also got Lando, which is another Louis L'Amour story. This one is specifically part of the Sackett series, which I am trying to collect all of the books in his Sackett series, and I needed to collect this one. And then I got The Dark Tower Book 1, which is The Gunslinger. This is by Stephen King. This is his big fantasy series that is his big fantasy series. I don't know what else to say about it, but I'm excited to read this one. I don't know if I'll like it, but it was there. It was 99 cents, so figured I might as well grab it. And then the last book I got there was Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. I don't think I've ever read, I don't think I've ever even read an abridged version of this. But it's Jules Verne. I've read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and I enjoyed that one, though not a whole ton, but it's a classic and I just really want to read it. Let's see, what's the next one? Homer Thrift.
So at Homer Thrift Store, I got The Last Bookshop in London by Madeline Martin, and I got a dictionary. I needed a dictionary, and these cost next to nothing, 2 of them.
Yeah. So the books that I got at Homer Thrift were Inferno and The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. I already have the Da Vinci Code, and they were there and they were cheap, and I figured I might as well get them. Again, might as well get them. And the other book that I got at Homer Thrift was Hyperion by Dan Simmons. I've heard a bunch of booktubers talk about this recently. The one that I can remember specifically is Rajathon, and the way he described it made it sound super interesting, and so I really want to read this one. Then this is Homer Books.
I only got one thing at Homer Books, although I really did like the bookstore, and I got The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mack.
Look inside.
Cursive. This book. We can't read this last name.
Charlie Mackesy.
Mackesy? Okay, that's an S.
Yeah. And I got A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent. This is written by Marie Brennan. I've heard of this and I've seen it, and anything that's titled The Natural History of Dragons just automatically has me intrigued. So, yeah. Then what's this? Old Inlet Bookshop. Something like that.
I got Zorro by Isabel Allende. I've heard of the author, but I haven't actually seen anything she's written, so I'm really excited to try that book. I got The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It's a pretty old edition. I actually think my mom has the same edition, but the cover's falling apart, so now I have my own old edition of Huckleberry Finn. And then I got this book called The Stories of the Three Dolls. It's hard to see the title, by Josephine Scribner Gates. And this is over 100 years old, but this book looked like something my grandma would have gotten for me, and I wanted to look at it some more.
So the books that I got at Old Inlet are the works of Alexander Dumas, the works of Oscar Wilde, the works of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the works of Rudyard Kipling, the works of H. Rider Haggard, the works of Guy de Maupassant, and the works of Victor Hugo. They're all the same edition of them, probably part of a set, and they were beautiful and they're all there. I haven't heard of Haggard or Maupassant, but I've heard of all the other ones, and the other two were there, so I figured I might as well get the entire set. I have no idea what's in those, but I'm very excited to read them. And then I also got Hans Christian Andersen 80 Fairy Tales. So this is one that I've actually seen at my, I believe it was the same book that I saw at my college's library or university's library, and I read some of it and I was like, this is super cool, I would love to have it. Plus it's on Christian Andersen, who I've always loved his stories. So when I saw this one there, it was a little bit more expensive than I would have liked to spend, but that's alright, I'd rather have it than not have it. So Inkwells is the last store we're on, and that is, did you get anything from there? Okay. I think this is what I got from there. So I got Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. This is another one in that same series with the Da Vinci Code and whatever the other two that I already said were. I got The Fires of Heaven, which is book 5 of The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I have books 1 through 3. I don't have book 4 yet, but book 5 was there for me to grab. I got, let's see, Ride the Dark Trail by Louis L'Amour and Mustang Man by Louis L'Amour. These are both part of the Sackett series. Again, I already mentioned I'm trying to collect all of the Sackett series. And then I got The Desert of Wheat by Zane Grey. I kind of, like I mentioned, I like the first Zane Grey that I read, but I didn't really have a good, I didn't really know which other ones of his were good, so I grabbed the first one that I saw that was in fairly good condition. And so that's the one that I picked of his from Inkwells. All of these stores, I think we got B-roll from all of them and that we have been playing throughout the video. So hopefully you enjoyed this vlog, massive book haul type thing. We kind of really failed on the vlog part of it.
A little bit of a disclaimer, in the town that we live in, there's not actually any bookstores. We have a Barnes & Noble and we have a thrift store, and by technicality there is one other bookstore, but it tends to be mostly children's books, and it's, I don't know, I've never found a whole lot when I've gone there. So when we had a chance to branch out and try some new bookstores, we were very excited too.
So that's about it for this video. I think we may have a channel announcement coming down the line, or we may not, I'm not sure. Also, I don't have any idea how I'm going to fit all these books on my bookshelf, but you'll see a bookshelf reorganization video from me sometime soon. I don't know how many books I got, let me count. So I got 33 books. Some of those have multiple stories in that one book, but that's a lot of books for me. I spent more money than I would have liked normally, but since I was intending to spend that much money, I'm okay with it. I think that's all we have to say. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know if you've read any of these books. I'm sure somebody has, because there's a lot of them here. But we hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Stay warm.